Greetings, friends. As you all know, I like to take a non-traditional approach to education, so I thought I would take this opportunity to flip my classroom for you so you can see how it works. Today we're going to be talking about two things. In this group, you are going to be talking about how to create a paper slide. A paper slide video, very easy and very basic. Not a lot of expertise needed. Basically, all you need is a camera, a video camera, a flip camera, markers, pencils, and paper, and some creative students that want to share their content. So let's get started.
A paper slide is a student-generated video that is created based on content, and it's actually unedited video, which means it's just rough video. And it's based on Common Core curriculum. So if you look in the Common Core curriculum, you're going to see a lot of things talking about digital tools, especially in writing and language art. This is a great example of a digital tool that is very easy to implement. So what are paper slides going to actually do for my students? It engages your students. Remember, your children don't learn like how we learned. Students are different now because of the technology that they have grown up with. So because of the TV and because of the internet, they're digital natives, which means they are born into this culture of digital lifestyle. So when we are engaging them digitally, they are really engaged in their learning. There's no experience needed on this topic. It's appropriate and it's fun for all grade levels. I have done it with kindergarten, and I have done it with people that are much older than I am, and I have had fun with every grade level and every age group that I have done this with, and everybody seems to receive it very well. So it's appropriate for all subjects and content areas as well, so it can be spread out anywhere. And you can keep the videos, you can share the videos, or you could reuse the videos. So you can share them with your teammates. You can share them with other students that maybe aren't grasping the concept as much as you would like. And you can keep them to use. And here are some ideas for integration. So you could do this for math facts. Show fact families, sequencing, steps in a process. Have students retell a story in their own way. Have them create a story. Have them highlight an event in history and the important things that happened around that event in history. Have them illustrate a song. There are lots of great songs on Discovery Ed, but there are lots of great songs on the internet too. So find a song that maybe is about the life cycle of a butterfly, and as you're singing that song or playing that song, you could illustrate the life cycle of a butterfly. So you could just share information on a topic or a subject area. If students are doing a research project, this is a really easy way to show students and the teacher that they know the content that they were studying. Summarizing, have students just do a summary of a book that they're reading or something that they're working on. And it's also great for inferring. So students could maybe have a riddle. They could post a riddle saying, "Who am I?" And then on the next page, they could reveal who it is. So that would be a good activity for your class to watch as a whole group after some of your students created it.
For your viewing pleasure, I'm actually going to make you a paper slide. I know you're so excited about this. I'm excited too. So here is my title page. I would be talking to my group about what I see being on the title, or I would just assign the title to someone. Just start writing. And clearly, I am not the best artist in the world. I'm going to draw a leaf. So there's my leaf with eggs on it. So if I want to include any facts, I would put the facts on here too, or I would just make a little side note of what I want to include when I'm recording my actual flip chart. So you can make this as complex or as easy as you want, which is nice because it can lend itself to any group that way.
priceless. And last but not least, a very gorgeous and beautiful butterfly.
A couple very important tips and hints for when you're doing paper slides. Make sure your students plan out who is going to say what, who is going to talk about the last slide, who is going to do the introduction for the first slide. It's very important to make sure you have a really good plan in place, and that is what is going to set your paper slide video apart, and it's going to make it really, really awesome. So then once students actually are able to start filming, they are going to place their slides in order on the desk, starting with their first slide. Then they're going to hold whatever camera device that they choose over top of the camera, making sure it's all fitting in the screen, nothing really hanging out around outside of the edges. Like you don't want to see any of this stuff. You just want to see the actual page. So once they hold the device up, they're going to hit record, and they're going to try to get through this in one recording. You don't want to have to do a whole bunch of recordings. This is supposed to be quick, unedited, rough footage. So they're just going to go through and they're going to read each slide, and then a hand is going to move it on over. And
The Butterfly Life Cycle by Lindsay Sipe. Butterflies develop through a process called metamorphosis. This is a Greek word that means transformation or change in shape. So the first stage of metamorphosis for butterflies is the egg stage. Eggs are laid on a plant by the adult female butterfly, and these plants will then become food when the eggs hatch. Eggs are usually laid in spring, summer, or fall, and that depends on the actual species of the butterfly. Females lay a lot of eggs at once, so at least some of them can survive. Butterfly eggs are typically very small in size. The next stage is the caterpillar, and this is also known as the feeding stage. So the caterpillar is an insect that will turn into the butterfly or moth, and the job of the caterpillar is to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat a lot of food. The caterpillar can grow 100 times its size during this stage, so it gets huge. So a monarch butterfly egg is the size of a pinhead, and the caterpillar that hatches from its egg isn't very much bigger than a pinhead, and it will grow up to 2 inches long in just a few weeks. So the next stage is the chrysalis, or sometimes it's called the pupa, and this is the transition stage. So this is when the caterpillar is full grown and it stops eating, it becomes a pupa. And so this stage can last from it may look like nothing's going on, but there's actually a lot happening inside. So cells that are present in the larva are now growing, and they're going to become the legs and wings and eyes and other parts of the adult butterfly. And the larva cells will actually provide energy for these growing adult cells. And finally, we have the adult, which is the reproductive stage. The adult stage is when most people think of when they think of butterflies. And it looks so different from a larva. The caterpillar has tiny eyes, stubby legs, and very short antennas. But adults have long legs, long antennas, and compound wings. They also can fly using their large and colorful wings. Most adult butterflies only live for 1 or 2 weeks, but some species hibernate during the winter, and they might even live for a few months. So that is the life cycle of the butterfly.
Okay, now that you've seen a paper slide, you know how to make one, all of your questions are answered. What I want you to do is I want you to work with your team to create your very own paper slide on how you are going to integrate paper slides into your classroom. So some ideas that you have to integrate paper slides into your very own classroom. So you are all responsible for at least creating one slide that gives at least 1 or 2 ideas on how you are going to put paper slides in your classroom. And then once you're finished, we're going to share as a whole group and we're going to see what everybody has. All right.